Let's pop on the latest odds. And I forget what they were. I don't think they've changed much since we looked at it, I think, last week. The odds for the championship are still pretty much the way they are. So Lando Norris at 135, Max Verstappen still a very, very solid plus 275, even though he had a big miss a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah, Lando Norris leading the championship by 1 point, just took it over from Oscar Piastri with his Mexico win. Piastri didn't even make it onto the podium that race, which is why he lost ground. Max Verstappen, though, finished third, whereas we've been telling you Max Verstappen basically has to win out the rest of the season, and didn't do that in Mexico. So a little bit, and that should have been a track that favored the Red Bull too. So a little bit more pessimistic about his odds, which is very surprising to see him so close to Piastri, considering he's way further back from Norris than Piastri is.
All right. And then the race, what do you expect the odds to be for the race?
So Max Verstappen has won the last two at Sao Paulo. Last year was probably his best drive ever. It was in the wet, and he had some good fortune, obviously, that helped him through that. But since he's won it the last two times, including last year when he was already on the back foot, I bet you he's really close to McLaren, if not the top choice this weekend. Yep.
Okay, so he's at 155.
Yeah, I would expect the McLaren guys to be right there. It's basically the same. Piastri even further behind. So Piastri still getting a bonus here because of, I guess, he's in a slump. Whereas Norris was in the slump before. Norris is on a high right now. He's on a roll. Piastri and he traded places.
Yeah, so it's been Piastri has not won since the Dutch Grand Prix.
Correct.
All right. And so it's been 5 races, and like you said, Lando had gone exactly till the 6th race before he won.
Yep.
So he broke that. So really, if you look at it, I guess do you think if Piastri can flip the switch and get going, do you think he'll do it slowly, or do you think it'll happen just like that with a win?
I think it'll happen just like that. This is a sprint weekend too, so there are extra points on offer on Saturday. You probably get a good idea for what's going to happen on Sunday by watching the sprint race on Saturday. I do think McLaren are going to be stronger than they have been here. In fact, I would pick a McLaren to win, to be honest with you. I would probably go with McLaren as the manufacturer to win versus going with Verstappen, Norris, or Piastri. Overall, I think Piastri has equally as good a chance to win this race as does Norris and does Verstappen. So for me, picking a winner this week is really hard. I'd rather just go with the team McLaren as a winner or winning constructor.
Let's see, where do we have it here?
Yeah, I'll have to go to team props, I think.
Oh, team props. Okay.
All the way at the end. Yep.
Yeah, that's not that bad for McLaren. You're getting only another point, and you got 2 drivers.
Exactly right. You get 2 shots by taking McLaren. You have to flip the coin to get one of them, unless you're convinced that Piastri is going to just dominate Norris, which I think it's like flipping a coin. These 2 guys have been really competitive all season. Right now, with only 4 races left in the season, they're only separated by 1 point. So for me, it's still impossible to tell between the 2 until they actually get on track. So I would feel comfortable taking McLaren as constructor to win, and maybe hedging with Max Verstappen individual win if you want to hedge.
And who do you like, though? Who do you think is going to win?
Honestly, I think it'd be Norris. I would give the edge to Norris. I think he came off of a really strong weekend at Mexico. I think he was feeling a little bit aggrieved after the Circuit of the Americas because he couldn't get around the Ferrari. I think if he had been able to get around the Ferrari, he'd probably have more of a straight up fight with Max Verstappen. And that was the last one that Verstappen won. So I think Norris is very much on a high right now, and I think that he can keep it going. He was competitive against Verstappen at Sao Paulo in years past, and no reason why he won't be this year as well.
All right. So timing is going to be what? Is this going to be one of those early morning races?
This will be afternoon. It's in the Western Hemisphere, so you'll probably see it around 2:00 in the afternoon on a Saturday here.
And then when they go to Vegas, that's going to be, what is that? What time is that's at late night?
Yeah, that's like at 11:00 West Coast time, PM. So 1:00, 2:00 in the morning on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. So
I still don't know why they do that.
So this is actually going to be the only race left is on the schedule where it's going to be like at a normal time for us, American fans.
It will be a normal time for American fans. Qatar and Abu Dhabi are during the daytime. They're nighttime there, but given the time change, they're a little bit later in the morning. They're not early morning Eastern.
Okay.
They're a little bit more reasonable, but this is the last Western Hemisphere race that will actually be in our time zone, not Vegas, because I don't count that as our time zone, considering they start so late.
All right. So there you go. We've look, if you want to find out more about what we talked about strategy-wise on the race, we do have a video that's available on the channel. You can check that out. Posted that, I think, about a week or two ago, probably a week or 10 days ago. So you can check that out on the site. And we really went over and broke down everything regarding the points and what Max has to do and the reason. This was actually just before the previous race that we were kind of trying to warn everybody not to go all in on Max so fast. And it kind of worked out really well, I guess, for anybody that might have listened to us after the previous race. So that definitely still applies. You could check that out. And we just went over a whole bunch of really interesting things if you are into wagering on Formula One as far as the championship is concerned the rest of the season. And of course, in 2 weeks, when we talk again, we'll have a lot more to say after this race, because bottom line is, if Max were to lose this race, even if he finished second, and I don't care who he loses to, his odds have got to really just drop. It has to, right?
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, he's 36 points behind now. He cannot afford.
And basically 36 points and 37 points behind, right? So there's only 1 point separating the two McLaren drivers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, he's got to be winning races. McLaren have to have some problems. If he's, like you said, even if he finishes second this week, he's losing points, and that's the championship slipping away.
All right. So, CJ, we'll look out for your F1 report. That'll come on later in the week. And don't forget to check out rotowire.com. And we've got a link in the description of the videos. You can check out all of CJ's work, even if you don't want to wait until Friday. Just taking a look at everything else that CJ does for RotoWire. So, CJ, appreciate it. We'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Thanks.